This is TCT's Daily Major for today, the 5th of September 2016. I am Jima Augustine and these are your headlines. St. Lucia is the highest rated Caribbean island among travelers at position number 6. A suspicious death in Miko. 12 temporary TCT employees reportedly terminated, and the Kittian Prime Minister has taken the opposition leader to court over what he says were false, malicious, and libelous allegations made against him. TCT's Daily Major is brought to you by Duboulez Botton Company, Ferrance Food Products, Ramco Charming, and One Caribbean Newspaper.
So nothing will keep us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
More than a third of our children are now overweight or obese, and some reports indicate this will be the first generation where the children might not outlive their parents. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and the leading cause of death for African Americans, Hispanics, and whites. 25 million North Americans are diabetic, and roughly 2 million people are diagnosed with diabetes every year. Bio's Life, the clinically proven natural fat loss.
For more information or to purchase this product, contact Ramjay at telephone 716-1400 or 450-0495 or email ramjay35@hotmail.com.
One Caribbean newspaper is dedicated to the unity of our people in one Caribbean nation. We invite you to write us and tell us what's bothering you. No matter what it is, as long as it's within the law and it doesn't offend the public conscience, we will publish it. Send us your pictures. Tell us of your weddings. Tell us when, unfortunately, you have deaths, and we will publish the death announcements. One Caribbean is a newspaper dedicated to the unity of the Caribbean. Write to us at onecaribbeanltd@gmail.com or dennisdabiro@gmail.com, and we will publish what you write as long as it is within the law and it doesn't offend public decency.
Welcome. St. Lucia-based hotels recently made the world's top 100 list in the Condé Nast Traveler Readers Travel Awards, and Chasney and Sugar Beach, a visa resort, and Chasney placed 6 in the Americas and Caribbean category and 26 in the world's top 100 category. Of the 9 Caribbean resorts that made the Americas and Caribbean list, and Chasney is rated 3rd and Sugar Beach Resort ranked 9th. Meanwhile, in the island of St. Lucia is the highest rated Caribbean island in the world's top 20 islands category at position number 6. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of 66-year-old Dennis Fauché, aka Two-Piece of Up the Line Miko. On Tuesday, August 30th, 2016, police launched an investigation into the disappearance of Fauché. According to reports, he was last seen on August 24th, 2016. On Sunday, September 4, 2016, at about 2:30 p.m., Fauché was discovered hanging from a tree in Escap, Miko. He was transported to the St. Jude's Hospital, where he was pronounced dead by a medical doctor. A post-mortem has been scheduled for Tuesday, September 6, 2016. The St. Lucia Fire Service this Monday gave TCT an update as it relates to the period commencing Friday the 2nd to Monday, August 5, 2016. TCT spoke to Station Officer Faster Serrier, who is the Assistant Division Officer attached to the Northern Section of the Fire Service.
Last week, the fire department responded to 61 ambulance calls throughout the island, and one fire call. That was a bushfire in the south of the island. We are very much pleased to announce the fact that there was no house fire over the weekend as compared to last week when there were 2 fires in 2 consecutive days. Out of the 61 calls, 44 of them were responded to by firefighters from the north of the island and 17 from the south. The most serious one in the north of the island was responded to by firefighters from headquarters, in which one passenger sustained injuries to the head in a motor vehicle accident in the Morris Hill area. In Dennery, the firefighters responded to a collision in the Fordo area where 2 minibuses collided with each other. At this accident, 2 foreign nationals sustained minor injuries and they were transported to the hospital. In the southern section of the island, firefighters from Vieux-Fort responded to a medical emergency in Vieux-Fort where a 3-month-old baby was found lifeless at home. While this baby was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital.
Mr. Serrier cautioned motorists and pedestrians to be extremely careful while crossing the road.
Now that school has reopened, there is no doubt that there are more vehicles on the road. The traffic is heavier now. There are more commuters as well because the school children are out on a daily basis going to school. And there are also more pedestrians, using the road. So motorists as well as pedestrians ought to be extremely careful when it comes to using the road. I want to speak to the fact that there was no fire on the weekend. It would mean that either persons saw it fitting to make last week a special weekend where they would, exercise fire safety or fire prevention at home, or it just happened by miracle. But we were hoping that, it is something that, people saw the need to do. Take time off to ensure that, fire does not begin in the home. So we're asking, homeowners, business owners to continue exercising fire safety and fire prevention at home and in the workplace.
An organization of St. Lucia National based in New York is helping promote the instructional science subjects on the island through major donations of science supplies. More in this report.
An organization of St. Lucia nationals based in New York is helping promote the instruction of science subjects on the island through a major donation of science supplies. The donation of laboratory kits and science texts and resources for teachers and libraries was made recently to the Department of Education at a brief handing over ceremony. President of the St. Lucia Cultural Organization, Marlene Daniel Paul, says the members of the group are happy to give back to their homeland.
As president of the group, it is my sincere privilege to present 6 commercial bins of science equipment and library resources, in addition to teacher resources, to the St. Lucia government, and with my hope that the materials will be distributed equitably to the most needy schools.
Deputy Chief Education Officer responsible for instruction within the Department of Education, Rafina Charles, says the donation will help in assisting the ministry's national thrust to get more students enthusiastic about science.
I give you my word that we are going to ensure that these equipment meet the students that are most needed. And I wish to say thank you so very much and to extend our heartfelt thanks to your organization.
The handing over ceremony was conducted at the offices of the Department of Education, Waterfront, Castries. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, I am Chris Satney reporting.
The St. Lucia Seaman Waterfront and General Trade Workers Union seeks the urgent intervention of the Labor Commissioner in bringing the parties together to address what appears to be a new industrial relation trend adopted by the Castries Constituencies Council. The union has reliable information which indicates that 12 temporary employees of the Castries Constituency Council have been terminated without any consideration to the fact that most of these employees have been continuously employed by the council for over a year. Moreover, the union was informed that upon inquiry, the employees concerned were informed that council does not like the idea of having temporary employees and as such has decided to terminate their employment. The union deems this considerate and high-handed since council has always engaged in hiring employees on a temporary basis with the intention of making them permanent once satisfied with their performance. These temporary employees constitute part of the bargaining unit and the union was not consulted on this matter. As part of efforts to improve the working conditions of staff and its services to the public, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Physical Planning, Natural Resources and Cooperatives will be undertaking remedial works at the Land Registry located on the ground floor of the Graham Louisi Administrative Building. As a result of the scope of works to be undertaken, the Land Registry will be closed from September 9, 2016 to September 14, 2016. The closure is in keeping with recommendations following a site visit to the Land Registry by the Caribbean Public Health Agency and H&L Environmental Agency. The offices have been plagued with a mole infestation issued with several years now, and this is finally being addressed in order to ensure staff and the public can operate in a safe and comfortable environment. The Land Registry remains a sole repository of land documents deed, power of attorney documents, land registered, etc., and therefore the Ministry would like to reassure the public that all remediations work will be executed with utmost efficiency so that the Land Registry could reopen for business on Thursday, September 15, 2016. The Ministry would like to apologize for any inconvenience that this is likely to arise as a result of the closure. Know Your Laws is a production of the Press Office of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Compulsory school age and offenses. Subject to subsection 2. A person who employs a child of compulsory school age during the school year commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $2,000. If a body corporate contravenes subsection 1, in addition to the said body corporate, every director and officer of the body corporate who authorizes permits in such contravention commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to the same penalty as the corporation. Despite subsection 1, a person or body corporate may employ a student over 14 years of age during the vacation periods of school year as specified by the minister, or if the employment of a student is part of the school program to prepare students for future employment. Except with the permission of the principal or under the supervision of a teacher deputed by the principal for the purpose, no student of compulsory school age shall be admitted on payment or otherwise to any cinema show or other similar form of entertainment on any day and at any time which attendance at school is by this act or regulations made hereunder required. A student of compulsory school age shall not be allowed to loiter on the licensed premises of any person or body corporate that carries on any business in connection with the sale, storage, or conveyances of intoxicating liquor within the meaning of Section 2 of the Liquor License Act. any person or body corporate, as the case may be, who contravenes subsection 4 and 5, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $2,000 or to imprisonment for 6 months or to do both. This is TCT's Daily Major. Still to come, the SLBS is seeking comments on adventure tourism safety requirements from interested parties.
Crystal clear. That's what we drink it. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear. Yeah, it's so refreshing. I don't want no other water. The choice is crystal clear. Cool the temperature. Revitalize me with. Give me a bottle of water. All on the road is inside the bottle. Everybody's drinking water. Crystal clear. Yeah, it's so refreshing. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear.
The choice is clear. Crystal Clear. Premium, purified drinking water from Zubulais Bottling Company Limited.
The way you smile at me is everything I dream.
How is that boy running up?
The way you smile at me.
Your Lucelec bill has been redesigned to give you more information. The top portion of your bill contains an invoice number, Lucelec's VAT identification number, and customer address. A past due stamp is displayed if your payment is overdue at the time of billing. Ignore it if you've already made your payment. To the right is a barcode for easy processing of your payments at Lucelec's customer service offices only. The billing summary highlights any amounts due from the prior billing, total of all payments made between your last bill and your last payment date, any other charges or credits to your account, any fees for returned checks or reconnection, VAT charges on these fees, the balance brought forward, your current charges for the billing period, the total amount outstanding on your account, and the date by which it should be paid.
Experience the flavor of icy. Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. The orange and the pear, the cherry and banana, the apple, ginger beer, or strawberry for your mama. Grapefruit, cola, champagne, sorrel if you wanna. Quench your thirst first, have an icy soda water. Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. Icy. Experience the flavor of icy. Bottled by Zubulais Bottling Company Limited.
Ramco pasta is a master. Your staple of choice because the quality is superior. No gluten, no white flour, 100% semolina. Ramco pasta tastes better, I swear. Ramco pasta forever. When I using mac and cheese, sabon. Give me some more, please. Ramco have variety, Cobetti to Betty, and Fusilini. Ramco, the taste we know, met you. Now available at all leading outlets. Distributed by Ramco. For more information, call 450-0495.
The following draft standards are being proposed for adoption as St. Lucia National Standards, Adventure Tourist Safety Management Requirements. In the process leading to the adoption of standards, the comments of stakeholders and the general public are solicited to identify and address areas of concern and to ensure that substances on these standards is achieved. The SLBS is therefore seeking comments on the above. Web links to the aforementioned standards are enclosed for perusal and comments from all with interest. The deadline for comments is Tuesday, October 18th. All comments on the standard should be addressed to the head of Standards Development Department. Further queries should be referred to the head of Standards Development Department, St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, at telephone numbers 453-0049 or 456-0546 or email info@slbs.org. A sickle cell workshop was held on Friday, 2nd September 2016. President of the St. Lucia Sickle Cell Association, Paula Korjan, said that with new technology, it will be more effective and efficient to be able to identify those persons with sickle cell.
St. Lucia Sickle Cell Association has been the only one in the region actually doing cord blood testing for over 20 years. And the fact that new technology has come about that will require a different procedure, however, it'll be more efficient and more effective, and we'll be able to identify more closely who those persons that have sickle cell. We are indeed very happy to be one of the islands chosen to start this procedure. What we have to do is to increase the educational process, also for the parents and the mothers, and to know exactly what has to be done with the heel prick. And babies, even if they get a heel prick and they might cry, it really doesn't hurt, it stops very quickly. But the importance of the heel prick is to get that blood, which now is being tested for sickle cell, but later down the line, it is quite possible that there may be other areas that they want tested for, and that same cord blood screening, that same blood can be used for that testing.
Community pediatrician Dr. Jacqueline Berg said that newborn screening is very important.
It's a newborn screening program that detects sickle cell disease at birth. Sickle cell disease is our commonest chronic disease that threatens lives of children. So the earlier we can diagnose it, the safer, because we can bring on board all the care that we have available for children with this disease. Now, we have been doing newborn screening for more than 25 years, I believe, in St. Lucia, testing the blood from the placenta or the afterbirth when a baby is born. And we are actually leading the English-speaking Caribbean in that respect, because we pioneered that through the St. Lucia Sickle Cell Association since 1994, I believe, 1990, I believe. But we're trying to improve on that test, because you would know that the cord blood or the blood from the umbilicus is a mixture of mother and baby. So it's not a pure testing of the baby, and it's been fraught with complications of misdiagnosis, false positives, or underlooked sickle cell disease that looks like the trait. So we have a new method of testing the baby itself at birth being researched over the last year. This is being funded through the Sick Kids Caribbean Initiative, which is a support program we have from the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, Canada, linking St. Lucia with 5 other Caribbean islands in support for blood disorders and cancer. So what this pilot project is that we supposedly take every newborn, get a drop of blood from their heel to test for sickle cell disease. It's dropped onto a filter paper card, and that card is shipped off to a central lab in Jamaica at the moment. And within 48 hours, we can have a diagnosis of sickle cell disease.
The implementation of a sustainable green floral industry in St. Lucia is on the way. More in this report.
The implementation of a sustainable green floral industry in St. Lucia is underway, as the St. Lucia Floral Cooperative Society Limited hosted a consultation recently at the Ober Seraphine Hotel. The consultation provided stakeholders with an opportunity to develop a comprehensive policy document which transforms the floral industry to a green enterprise. Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, John Calix, welcomed the initiative to market and elevate the floral industry in St. Lucia.
I, for one, am particularly impressed that the St. Lucia Floral Cooperative Society has seen it fitting to develop a policy and framework for greening the St. Lucian floral industry by integrating eco-friendly principles and methods into the production process. I wish to express my ministry's support for such an approach and to assure you that we will do all that we can to assist in realizing the transition to a sustainable mode of flower production in St. Lucia, while we, among others, ensure that more efficient water use, reduction of inorganic chemical use, more efficient use of land, and increasing energy efficiency is also utilized.
Board member of the St. Lucia Floral Cooperative Society Limited, Shirley Lewis, believes there is need to create an eco-friendly floral industry for the betterment of all citizens.
For if we truly want a successful floral industry, we need to cherish our environment. And one of the ways to ensure this is through the adoption and enforcement of good habits and principles. Educating and exposing ourselves to methods of environmental protection should be pursued from the inception of the planting stage right through to the reaping and packaging stage. Reaching out to community groups, not necessarily floral groups, is necessary to facilitate this environmental exposure.
The St. Lucia Floral Cooperative Society has called for public assistance as they continue their work to rebrand the floral industry as a contributor to the evolving green economy. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, I am Fernal Neptune reporting.
Regionally, over 50 of the Caribbean's top attractions providers will come together in Jamaica to discuss industry challenges and opportunities for growth and development when Island Roots Caribbean Adventures hosts its inaugural Island Roots Certified Partner Conference later this month. Slated for Sandals Ochi Beach Resort from September 3rd to September 16th, 2016, the conference will feature presentations from Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Edmund Ballett, Director of Center of Tourism and Policy, and Khaled Alexander, Chair in the Management Studies, Professor Ian Boxall, and Tara Lano, Director of Product Planning and Promotions, Leisure Flight Center, USA, one of the world's largest travel companies and retail travel outlets. The revolutionary event is spearheaded by Island Roots Chief Executive Officer Adam Stewart, who said that the conference would allow stakeholders to collectively assess the state of the industry and discuss possible solutions for existing challenges. He said this is an exciting billion-dollar industry, not just for Jamaica, but for the entire region. Numerous opportunities exist, but there are also many challenges. This conference will provide a platform for this growing community to come together, share ideas, discuss the difficulties, and determine how, as a region, we can overcome these and better position ourselves to take advantage of all the available opportunities. As the 5-time recipient of the World Travel Award of the world's leading Caribbean attraction company, Island Roots is a respected authority within the sector, and this conference represents its newest initiative to support attraction providers across the region. The company will also use the opportunity to launch its Island Roots Certified Partner Program to demonstrate its continued commitment to delivering first-class services to its customer and to show recognition for the strict operational standards maintained by its partners. It has been reported that Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris has started legal action against opposition leader Dr. Denzil Douglas and a local radio station for what he said were false, malicious, and libelous allegations made against him. The action relates to a statement which Dr. Douglas made on Freedom FM 106.5 radio last Friday afternoon regarding threats being made against his life on the popular social media network Facebook. In addition to the airing, the former Prime Minister's statement, Dr. Harris said, Freedom FM 106.5 published it on its Facebook page. As soon as the offending publications were brought to his attention, the minister immediately engaged Thomas Estefan QC in the matter, and after Queen's Counsel communicated with Freedom FM, the offending posts were removed from its Facebook page, a statement from Harris said. The Prime Minister's Council has commenced legal action against both Freedom FM and Dr. Douglas for the publications of these false, malicious, and libelous allegations. Justice will now take its course, it added. Dr. Douglas has been calling for protest action against how the 18-month-old administration of Prime Minister Harris is managing the Twin Island Federation, as well as the crime situation and deterioration of the healthcare services. Now for the weather report. Present weather at Uranura, cloudy with showers nearby. At George F.L. Charles, cloudy. Total rainfall for the month this far at Uranura, 47.5 millimeters. At George F.L. Charles, 48.2 millimeters. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:56 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the southeast at about 18 miles per hour or 29 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts. Weather fair skies becoming cloudy at times with some showers and slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. Seas moderate to locally rough with waves 4 to 7 feet or 1.2 to 2.1 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution due to above normal seas. Forecast for the Lesser Antilles, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly around the Leeward Islands. Tropical weather outlook, moisture and instability associated with a tropical wave will continue to cause above normal cloudiness, showers and a few thunderstorms, mainly over the northeastern Caribbean region. Conditions are expected to improve over the next 2 days. Another tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic is moving westward near 14 miles per hour or 22 kilometers per hour. Now here is where we come to the end of TCT's Daily Major, but before we go, another recap at your headlines. St. Lucia is the highest rated Caribbean island among travelers at position number 6. A suspicious death in Mico. 12 temporary CCC employees reported terminated. And the Kittian Prime Minister has taken the opposition leader to court over what he says were false, malicious and libellous allegations made against him. TCT's Daily Major was brought to you by Dubulais Bottling Company, Ference Food Products, Ramco Charmin, and One Caribbean Newspaper. I am your presenter, Jim Augustine. Thanks for watching.